What's going on, you guys? So we are back in the shop working on the LS550 again. One of the things I've been wanting to get done on this for a while is I need to add some new sensors to this. So 3 things that I'm definitely adding right now. Crankcase pressure, so we can monitor crankcase pressure in the engine. That way if we start having excessive blow by, we will know ahead of time. Coolant pressure, that way if we're lifting ahead or getting excessive pressure in the coolant system, we will know. And exhaust gas back pressure. So having exhaust gas back pressure data will be pretty critical for seeing the efficiency of the turbo and how everything's working. And also making sure we have the right wastegate spring in there. So if we have too much back pressure in the exhaust, might need to go up to a bigger wastegate spring. One other thing I forgot about too is turbo speed. So we are adding a turbo speed sensor into this setup as well. So for now, let's get started on the crankcase pressure sensor and see how we're gonna do that. All right, so the way we plan to add crankcase pressure to this is right in the top of the valley cover here. So what I did originally while the intake manifold was on is I 3D printed like a little square piece that's a little bit bigger than the map sensor to make sure it would fit underneath my intake, and fit that up in there and kind of just traced it out to make sure this will fit. So what we're doing now that we know a map sensor will fit here is we are just putting a map sensor in the valley cover right there. So we're just going to go ahead and drill a hole in this and then drill and tap into the top of here and get a spot there to bolt this down to. Now, one thing I might need to do is this may not be thick enough. So it may not be thick enough to seal on this O-ring. I'm hoping it is, but if it's not thick enough, I might need to machine up a little sleeve to weld onto the bottom of this so that way this O-ring can seal in it. But first, we're just gonna go ahead, mark this out, drill a hole, and put this in here and see if it fits. Because if it fits, then drill and tap a hole for the bolt, and it'll be done. All right, so we got the hole drilled out for this, but just kind of like I thought, when you push this through here all the way, the material's not really thick enough to hold it in place. So we're gonna need to make a little stanchion or something, figure out a way to make sure this stays sealed up real good. All right, so what I did here is I machined this little spacer, which will go into the bottom of the valley pan right here. Kind of flanged it so that way it snaps into place, just like that. So the map sensor will actually have a surface seal on now, and it'll sit flush up top. And I'm just gonna go ahead, level this out, and then weld it up from the bottom. Hopefully this stuff actually welds. Oily cast aluminum is usually not easy to weld no matter how much you clean it, but I cleaned it, I torched it, scrubbed it. It's probably gonna still weld like doo-doo though. All right, so now we have the bung welded into the valley cover and the hole tapped for it. You can kind of see right there how I did that. Just welded this little, that didn't really want to weld too nice, so what I did was I just tacked it in the back and then welded it up the front, flushed it out, re-drilled it so it's all nice and smooth. But yeah, you can see how it's got a nice contact surface there now for the sensor to seal up against. So now that this is good, we're going to go ahead and reinstall this onto the car. this in here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a dab of RTV under this bolt here, just so we're sure that it's sealing, because it is open on the bottom. And we're gonna go ahead and slide the intake manifold back into position here. Make sure we're not pinching any wires or anything like that. And we have a little bit of a clearance issue. Huh. Easy fix. Plug in the injectors. Alright, so that is the crankcase sensor completed. The other question you might have is, why did I use a map sensor instead of like a pressure transducer? And that would be a good question. Mainly price. So map sensors read vacuum to pressure. It's a two, three. I think I want a 3-bar map sensor. If this thing registers up to 3-bar, we're gonna have a real fucking problem. 3-bar map sensor, just because price, they're relatively cheap. The good map sensor transducers are in like the $100 range. This thing was like 20 bucks, I think, something like that. And as for like it getting oil on it and stuff like that, I've had so many cars that have had like motors blow and coat the map sensors in oil, and like honestly never really had a problem with them. So I figured we'd give it a shot and see how it does and see how it holds up. But easy solution to get crankcase pressure is just to shove a map sensor in the valley cover. It's a little bit of work to make it fit, but it should work. Now I'm just waiting for my connector end to show up for it so I can actually finish wiring it and get it going. Only thing that may or may not be an issue is this hose here. It's going to be kind of close to the wires right here. I don't want it chafing and cutting into it, so I might just put a little piece of rubber on here or something to protect it a little bit better, but plugs right in. It will, anyways. Plug right into there, and easy way to read crankcase pressure. Anyways, that's probably going to be it for this one. That took a little bit longer than expected to do. So yeah, add the crankcase pressure sensor. Relatively short video, but that's what it is. Next video, I'm gonna probably do the coolant pressure sensor. I really won't be able to get around to doing the exhaust gas back pressure sensor until we build the turbo kit. And don't worry, I will be doing a full video on building the turbo kit, start to finish. I say that, but I kind of already started it. So a little bit past start to finish. Yeah, we're basically gonna be making a new kit similar to the way it is right now, but fresh pipe, something that'll be nice and clean that I can get ceramic coated and not worry about looking absolutely awful. So anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this one. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the build along. Until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.